Hello world and welcome back. So we are in one of the last phases of our animation. We are ready to render. Okay, now if you are on a laptop or if you're just running a CPU, then you're gonna run with Eevee. Okay, just run Eevee because Cycles takes longer to render. Cycles is more of a production level render. Eevee is, that's why it's called the real-time render. The real-time renderer. So one, we're going to click Eevee. We're just going to leave it at that. That's fine. We're going to go to right here, output properties. Okay, this one that looks like a little printer printing, outputting paper. I guess that's what I see. That's what my Rorschach looks like. 100% is fine. 1 by 1, 24 frames per second. Great. Start, stop, excellent. So this is your output file. Here's where you want to set wherever you want this thing to output. Okay, into a file called Moon Phases, and I'll accept that. And then we come down here, PNG. So we're going to just output to a video. So click PNG, and you want to select FFmpeg video. Okay, that's all you. I do MPEG 4. So this is if you run MP4s, this is your output container. I do want my quality to be as good as possible, so I'm going to do lossless, and this is going to make it a bigger file. If you have the space, go ahead. If space is an issue for you, if it's a problem, you might just want to do medium quality or even low quality. Or if you know you're going to be doing a bunch of different renders, keep it very low. That's fine. And then when you're ready to do a production level render, then bump it back up to lossless. So a lot of times, one of the problems that people have when they start out with Blender animations, with the video sequence editor, is sometimes audio doesn't attach, and it's very strange. Like, why is there no audio? When you put the audio in the sound file and you can hear it, it doesn't output. And the reason for that is that you have not selected the codec, and you need to. Okay, AAC. This is here. Now if I have any audio in here at all, it can export it essentially, but there is none, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so with that set, I'm going to render animation and let it run. So now it's rendering right now, and you can see up here it's at 5 frames, 11 frames, and I'm just going to downsize this window here. And you can see it's rendering in real time right here with Eevee. This is the Eevee real-time render. Oh, no. Okay, and it's just going through frame by frame, rendering it out. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you animate in Blender. And you could output this in Cycles. There's a lot of different things you can do to make the image crisper, more crisp or sharper. I'm not going to mess with those today. What I want to do is I want to add the names of the phases right here. Okay, so to do that, let's hop into the video sequence editor. Save, and I'm just going to add a new, here you go, video editing, boom, just like that. So what I did, I added a new workspace to the top. If you didn't see it, if I went too fast for you, I'll do it again. Click the plus to add, scroll down to video editing, and then video editing again, and you should get this workspace. And right now it's just rolling. Okay, so we're going to pause it and bring it back to 1 and 240. So this is empty here. We need to add the video that we just created, and Blender makes it as simple as dragging and dropping. Look, let me show you. Okay, so here's the file that was just output. I'm just going to drag it into my timeline down here, and then this pretty cool happens, right? So this is the video that we just rendered out from our animation. This is our animation. Now if I hit play, you can see here's our animation. All right, very cool. Now, one thing I want to point out is that this right here, this blue here is the audio. This blue here is the video, and you can see that over here. Okay, so this is clearly a video editing function, and then when I click the softer blue, we go sound. Okay, but and if you want to see the actual sound you're making, click the display waveform. Now you're not seeing any sound here because there was no sound in our animation. Okay, if this is your first time looking at the video sequence editor, don't freak out, you're okay. You can zoom in or zoom out with your middle mouse button. You can click and drag with your middle mouse button. All right. I'm going to get rid of this audio right here because there's nothing in the file. You can see if there was file, this would be like a spiky line, right? Like any audio file you've ever seen. So I'm going to just delete it just by clicking delete. And now we're fine. Now what I'm going to do is add text to add the phases of the moon. Okay, and the first phase is the new moon. Let's start it at 0, and then we're going to shift A, text. We're going to add the text. How long do you want to add text? Really until we start seeing it. The new moon stops about there. It's no longer new. About here, really, is the new moon ends. So we'll extend this out about there, and then the text we want to write new moon, and then you got to bring it above. Okay, it's very important. This layer has to be above this layer. The reason you didn't see that before is because the video layer was on top of the text layer. So think of this timeline as a layer system. Okay, and the default is center position. Now to move that, we just come over here, and you can make the size bigger if you want to. You can make it, that's pretty big. We'll deal with it in a second. And then the layout right here can move left, right. I want it to be bottom left third. Okay. I'm okay with that. The text is way too big for me. Maybe like that. We think like that is okay. Maybe, and then pull it a little more left and a little more down, maybe like that. Okay, and the blend is alpha over. We're cool with that for the time being. Now the text I don't like. I don't like this default text. So you click open here, and wherever you have fonts on your machine, you'll be able to pull them up. And let's try that at $1.50. And then let's bring that let's make that 0.2 and 0.25. Okay, so we're okay with that. New moon. Now, let's duplicate this with Shift D and bring it on over. And this will be our waxing crescent, right? Which goes about, well, here, we got this ending. So let's put full here. Let's Shift D and bring this here. Put this at 120. 120 is halfway, so we know halfway is a full moon. Okay, and we'll come up here and type full moon. Full moon. Okay, alright. Full moon. Shift D to add. Oh, hang on a second. This is new moon. This is not a new moon right here. This is a waxing crescent. First quarter. The first quarter goes about here. We Shift D. Then we have what's called a waxing gibbous. And that's just, I don't care who you are or how old you are, that's just fun to say, man. We don't get enough opportunities in life to just say waxing gibbous out loud. But I do, all right? Because life is for the living, you know? It's just for the living, y'all. To wax and gibbous, and then we got a full, and then we got a full moon, and then we move to the waning. Now we're here at 0.05 hard left. Let's move this 0.05 left, and we're there. Now we got waxing gibbous. No, excuse me, waning gibbous, mea culpa. So we got waning gibbous about here, and then we got shift D. We got a third quarter right here, about here, and then we have a waning crescent. Okay, so this is how you mess with the size of the font. This is how you add your own custom fonts. This can be shorter. We can end it here. And I think we should. I will hit K, the letter K, for cut my video right here. I'm cutting this video right here, and I'm deleting it. K is the shortcut for cut. K is in cut. Now I know C is for cut, but K looks like scissors, and scissors cut. Okay. Now we've created this extra space here because our film is still this long, even though we only have this much film. So we need to bring our timeline down. Okay. So now let us take a look and see what we got. Now we've added our text. You know what? The lettering is a little bulky, you know? I think I want to change the font here. So I'm going to kick back and go to New Moon. Let's try Cantrell Light. I lied, just like that better. Smaller, it's just a little bit more minimal. It's not as in your face or as bold as the Impact font. I like Cantrell. Okay, everybody save your work. Now, as a finishing touch, I'm going to add some background music to this. You don't have to. It's just a 10-second animation, so you can leave it as it is. But if you want the experience of just as an exercise, adding audio and outputting audio correctly, rendering audio correctly in the Blender Video Sequence Editor, that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so we can drag and drop, same as we did in the with our video in the Video Sequence Editor. So I'm going to come. I got a pretty chill background, spaced out, ethereal vibe. I just dragged that right here. So I'm going to click Display Waveform, and now you can see the audio. Okay. So we'll bring this here, and I'm going to hit K to cut, delete to delete, click, and grab with G and bring this over to the beginning here. And then I'm going to scroll over to the end here, and I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to select my layer, K to cut, delete. Now that's deleted. Cool. Okay, and there you go. That is how it's essentially how you edit video in the Blender Video Sequence Editor. We added a bunch of text, we added audio, we clipped it, we animated our 3D model, we exported it, we imported the export into Blender VSE, we added text, we added audio, and now let's export our final project. Okay, and we're going to click up here to Output Properties. All right, output, we want to find the folder that we're outputting to. Great. We already got MPEG video. Great. We know what we're doing there. Encoding. Great. MPEG 4 from Matroska. We're familiar with this. You know this. This is old hat to you by now. Okay, high quality. Here I'm going to go lossless because I want to, because I feel fancy. And audio, this is super important. If you want the audio to show up, audio codec AAC has to be selected. Just has to. Otherwise, this audio is not going to render. Sometimes in the early going, you'll output a video file and the audio won't be there, and you're like, what the deuce? And it's likely because you did not AAC. Okay, metadata, you can add any metadata if you want to. File name, frame, I'm cool with that. Post-processing, compositor sequence, burn into image. I don't need to burn anything into the image. Background, no. Okay, I think we're good, unless we're forgetting something, and I don't think I am, but I might be. You never know. And if we make a mistake, that's okay. We'll do it again, because repetition is the mother of skill. All right, once we got that, let's go to render, animation, and away we go. Okay, so this has rendered. Now, if you've done everything, if you stuck with us so far, we went and we got scientific images from NASA. We wrapped that data onto a 3D model in a 3D environment. We edited the lighting so that it mimicked the phases of the sun as it wrapped around the moon. We exported that from our 3D modeling layout into a video form. We imported that video form into our video sequence editor. We added labels where we needed to add labels, and then we added audio as a nice little kick. And if everything worked like it was supposed to, we should be able to watch the animation right now. So, I hope you found some of that helpful. Hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions, comments, or requests for clarification about anything at all, let me know. Send me an email. Again, so this is part of a much larger astronomy series, and the moon and the moon phases is essentially the first part. We'll do all the planets. We're really going to get into astronomy, and we'll do some orbits, and we're going to learn Python, and should really be a good time. So this is the first step, and it's a good one, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like what you got out of it, and send it to me. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, if you were able to do it, if you weren't able to do it, if you found value in it. Okay, and get up, get a bend, get a stretch, and then get back at it. We're doing Blender. Do Blender every day. This is how you master it. You just keep doing it again and again and again and again and again. Okay, all right, good day.